In this video, I'm going to be breaking down all of the rules for Topstep, all of the things you need to know before you start your combine, all things you need to know as you move into your express funded account, and just all frequently asked questions that I get a lot. And I wanted to make this video to kind of have all the answers, all the steps in one place so you guys can reference back to it whenever you need to. So first and foremost, I just want to make it clear up front that I am affiliated with Topstep. So if you do decide to purchase a combine through the link in the description of this video or linked, on a lot of my social media profiles, I will get a commission for it. So I just want to be transparent with that up front. The reason that I promote Topstep and I'm partnered with Topstep is just because, one, they're the prop firm, the only prop firm that I use, the only prop firm that I see myself using in the foreseeable future. Some of you might know my story, and I was against prop firms for a really long time. And I just felt like a lot of prop firms in the space were set up to make most traders fail, right? They're not easy. They're basically a crazy, ridiculous, profitable business that preys on, people's desire to get rich quick, essentially. So I partner with them because I just agree with, one, their morals and their ethics and the way that they are set up compared to other prop firms in the space. In my humble and professional opinion, I just think that they actually are a company that, backs up what they stand on by giving people a platform to actually create good habits and to allow them to become a successful trader by not putting quotas on them and making them, abide by a deadline or anything like that. So those are just a couple of reasons that I am partnered with Topstep. So guys, without further ado, let's hop into it. And as you guys can see here, this is obviously the 3 different combine levels that you can purchase. So you have the 50K, 150K, 100K and 150K combines. You guys can see the profit targets, the rules, the contracts, et cetera, right there. I did go ahead and make a little bit easier to kind of digest all the rules. I want to go over all the things you need to know before you actually get in to the actual combine itself, but then also the rules for getting your first payout and a couple different examples of what you can expect once you guys are running it up, making some money with your express funded account, guys. So first and foremost, all in all trading combines are the same, other than just obviously the cost of them and the size of capital that you're going to get to be able to trade with. They all have a profit target of 6%. So 6% across the board, regardless of which one you're using. That is going to be the profit target for the combine. It is a one rule, one step pass, meaning you do not have to do a 2-phase challenge. A lot of Forex prop firms are 2 phases. So you got to not only pass your first challenge, but then you got to pass it again. And this is just 1 phase. So you just have to get to that profit target one time and you're going to be good to go. However, you cannot pass the Topstep combine in 1 day. I'm going to get into that here in a little bit second with the consistency rule. The max loss is 3% and it's end of day. And I really want to stress that because it is important. There are some prop firms out there that they will actually be based off of your equity curve, meaning if you were to be up on a trade, let's just say $1,000 on a trade, and let's say you did not close that trade out, meaning it's unrealized profit, right? That trade might still be open. Maybe you've even put your stop loss at your entry, right? So it's break even. But if you were up $1,000 on that trade and then price decided to turn around, reverse against you, and then come stop you out at break even, well, because you were up $1,000 and your equity curve will show that you were up $1,000 on the back office, that is actually going to now count against you as like you lost $1,000 on the day, which is just really, really hard to do. And it forces traders, in my opinion, to not trade the way that they want to trade because it's forcing you to close the trades either early or trail your stop loss extremely aggressively, kind of choke your trade out. Here it's based off end of day. So until that trade either hits your take profit, hits your stop loss, or you just close it out manually and the day ends, it's going to not change anything as far as like your back office goes, as far as your statistics until the actual trading day closes. That is when your P&L will be realized for that day, as it should be, right? Based on what actually happened, P&L at the end of the day. In my opinion, that's the best. And then you have a daily loss limit of 2%. So if you lose 2% throughout the course of the day, it will automatically margin call your positions and take you out of the trade, and it will not allow you to trade anymore that day, unless, of course, you were to pay for a reset. I'll get into that here in just a second. But daily loss limit 2%. It's just there to prevent you from going on full tilt and just blowing everything up in one day, one trade, whatever it might be. So right here is all of the things you need to know for each account. Profit target, you guys can see again, 6% across the board. Max total loss, 3% across the board. Max daily loss, 2% again across the board. And then you can just see the different consistency rules, meaning if you're on your combine and you're trying to gamble your way into passing your combine account and get into a funded account quickly, Topstep is forcing you to actually be a good trader and be consistent and actually develop good habits and not trying to just, get lucky on one trade swinging for the fences. You actually have to show some level of consistency, which is only 2 days. It's not a lot, guys, right? The fastest you could pass any of these combines is in 2 days, or potentially even just 2 trades if they were in each separate day, right? I don't recommend that you do that, but that is the fastest that you can do it. So as long as you didn't make more than 50% of your profit target on any given day, you can pass it in those 2 days if you made exactly 50% of your profit, right, between those 2 trades or 2 days. And if you do happen to make more than 50% on, one of those days, then you just have to make up for that extra amount, on like that third day, for an example. Maybe you would have to make an extra like $50 or $100, just depending on how much you went over. But it's usually not a problem that most people have to worry about. But that is something to keep in mind. And again, trailing drawdown is based on end of day P&L, which we already went over. And then getting into the last part of this, which is the activation fee. So it's the same across the board, regardless of which account you use. Activation fee is just there to get you actually set up into your funded account. So yes, you pay the monthly price to start your combine. And the other important thing to note about that monthly price is there is no quota, right? So if you take longer than 30 days to pass your combine, it's not going to reset your account at the end of that 30 days, right? So like if you're in profit, let's say a couple $1,000s on, let's say like the 100K or the 150K combine account, and your monthly rebill is coming up, it's not going to put your account back at zero. You're going to be able to just continue along with wherever progress you already have. And that is another thing that I love about this prop firm and just futures prop firms in general, is they don't do that. They don't put a quota on you. A lot of you that might have experience with Forex prop firms, they would put a 30-day window on your first challenge. And if you didn't pass in that 30-day challenge, sorry, game over. You got to start from scratch, right? So they would put a deadline on your trading. Anybody that's been trading for a while knows you can't put a deadline on your trading, because when you do that, that is how you make bad decisions, and that's how you also create bad habits and then lose money. So there's no quota on this. Yes, it does rebill you every 30 days for that monthly cost, but it doesn't diminish your progress. The only thing that it will do is if that 30 days comes up and you've broken one of the rules, aka your max loss is really the main one you got to worry about. If you've broken the max total loss for that account and you've blown that combine up, your 30 days comes up, the rebill goes through, then it will put your account back at zero and giving you essentially a fresh start. You can pay for a reset before your 30 days or your renewal comes out if you want to. It's the same exact cost of the combine itself. If you can't wait for your renewal to go through and you want to just get back to it, you can do that. But the monthly rebill will still come out 30 days from whenever you started your initial combine. Once you get into the actual passing of the combine, again, it's $149 to actually get that express funded up and running. So now getting into the juicy part that everybody loves, and that is getting to your first and hopefully many payouts to come in the future. So the first rule to keep in mind is you have to achieve 5 green days of $200 plus per those days, right? So as long as you have 5 days where you made at least $200 or more on those days, you're now going to be eligible for your first payout. I'm going to get into a couple examples here in a second, but it's good to know that you keep 100% of your first $10,000 profit. A lot of prop firms do different things with this. Some of them will do, keep your first $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 up to like $20,000. Just depends on whoever the prop firm happens to be that you're talking about. And then after your first $10,000 profit, it moves to a 90-10 profit split. So anything after your first $10,000 profit, you will keep 90% of that profit, and the prop firm, Topstep in this example, will keep 10% of that profit going forward. From there, guys, 50% of your total profit in your account is actually what's going to be eligible for withdrawal. Now, you can take out your entire profit if you want. The only problem with that is it's going to close your Express Funded account down. You're not going to be able to trade out it anymore. And the reason they do this is because it allows you to leave a cushion in your trading account so you can continue to trade and continue to make profits and get payouts on an account that you're already doing well in, and also helping you just maintain that consistency and building that good habit of being a good profitable trader. And then last thing here is you can withdraw up to 4 times a month. So again, between every single payout, you have to have 5 green days of $200 or more. So essentially, if you were to do that every single week, you could get a payout every single week or 4 times a month. And then a couple notes here: if you withdraw before you reach your buffer, your trailing drawdown will still be trailed up to $0. So for some of you that might not be familiar with this term buffer, there is a trailing drawdown that follows you on both your combines and on your Express Funded accounts. I'm going to use the 150K combine account for an example. So again, that max total loss is $4,500 or 3%, right? So let's just say you were to be trading on your combine account or your Express Funded account at the end of each trading day, right? Let's say you have a good week, you have a few green days, and you're up on your account for the week. Let's just say you're up 3%. So that 3% gain that you would be up on your account at the end of that week, that is equivalent to $4,500. So your trailing drawdown will have actually followed you up to your initial starting balance, and then it stops. So your initial starting balance, once you've made 3% on your account, either your combine or your Express Funded account, it'll follow you up to that balance of 3% gain. And then after you're over 3% profit on your account, that is when anything above that 3% gain is considered your buffer, aka your cushion. If you were to take out your profit on your Express Funded account before you got to that 3% gain, your trailing drawdown is still going to be moved up to your initial balance. So all that really means is that you're just not going to have as big of a buffer, right? So like if I go to this first example here, right? Let's say after 1 week, you're up $3,000 and you want to take a profit. You are allowed to take out $1,500 because that's 50% of your total profit, correct? So you can take out that $1,500 if you'd like. However, your trailing drawdown would now be set to $0. Your remaining margin, aka your cushion, would be $1,500. So you can see how you might want to consider not taking that first payout, not taking that withdrawal until you've gotten over your buffer, if that makes sense, right? You want to give yourself that cushion to allow yourself to maybe take a couple of losses and, not just lose the account. But obviously, this isn't financial advice. You guys can trade your accounts however you see fit. You can take payouts from your accounts however you see fit and however you want to do it. That's not for me to tell you what to do. It's just giving you all the information so you can make whatever decision that you feel is best for you and your account. The other thing to note here about payouts is that after you've gotten to your first payout, your last combine purchase for that monthly price will also be refunded to you in addition to whatever your payout was. So a lot of good things will happen once you get to your first payout. However, if you don't get to your first payout and you just happen to lose your Express Funded account, you're not going to get that refund. So it is important to maintain consistency, maintain good habits so you can actually not just get funded, because anybody can do that, but also get to a point of profitability on that account to where you can, yes, take a payout, but then also get a refund. And then essentially from that point, that account is 100% risk-free if you can get a refund for your combine and then just keep building it up from there. The last example that I'll give you guys is after several months of trading, let's say you're up like $30,000. This is kind of a bigger example. You're allowed to withdraw $15,000, which would be 50% of your overall profit without closing the account. And remember, your first $10,000 is 100% yours. You can take out $15,000 profit in this example, and the first $10,000 is 100% all yours. Now, keep in mind that extra $5,000 is going to be assessed with that 90-10 profit split, right? So 90% of that extra $5,000 is what's going to be yours, and then that 10% is what Topstep is going to keep. And then everything from there is going to be obviously 90-10 split as well, so on and so forth. Since you're already well above your buffer, you're not going to need to worry about it because it's already going to have been set at 0. And last but not least, you can have up to 3 funded accounts max with Topstep. So it doesn't matter what the account size is. You can have 350s, 3 100s, 3 150s, or like a mixture of those three if you wanted to do that. So you can have a total of up to 450K in funding if you were to have 3 150K accounts. You can copy trade them, meaning that if you took one trade on one account, it'll copy to the others, and that way you're kind of like maxing out the leverage that you have for all of your funded accounts. That is an entirely separate video for another day, but that is just kind of the last little tidbit to throw in there, is that you have the ability to get funded with multiple accounts and then also trade them together. Last little cool thing I want to show you guys is their Discord server. You can find the invite link to this on their website. I suppose I could drop it in the description of this video as well, but they have a ton of different channels that you can take advantage of. Like there's a voice chat that's active right now with I guess like 80 people in it. So they're always doing stuff in here. There's tons of resources and things you can take advantage of. I just wanted to show you guys this because I think it's the coolest part. It's the Topstep payouts. They have a bot that every single time they process a payout, and they process payouts daily, by the way. So if you were to request a payout, it's not like you got to wait a week or 2 weeks or anything crazy like that. You request the payout and it'll be processed usually that same day, or if you requested it like later in the day, it'll process the next day right away in the morning. So very quick turnaround. You don't got to wait forever in a day to get your payouts. And every single time one is processed, this thing tells you who it's going to and how much it was for. And this, you could literally just scroll literally forever and just see all the payouts. I don't know. I just think it's pretty awesome and something that I think you guys will like as well. But guys, that is it. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. I feel like I covered pretty much everything, but I know I went through this a little fast. So if I did miss anything, feel free to ask any questions in the comments down below. I'll do my very best to get those answered as quickly as possible. If you do want to trade with Topstep and go ahead and try to get funded with them, then the link is in the description. If you're new to Topstep, never used them before, it will give you an additional 20% off. However, if you're somebody that has used Topstep in the past and maybe you're looking at coming back to them and you click that link in the bio, you know, it will still support me. So I appreciate you. Thank you a lot. But it won't give you an additional 20%. You'll still be paying whatever you see here on the checkout right on the website, guys. But I appreciate you guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.